Welcome to our channel, friends. Today we embark on a journey through time, exploring the fascinating world of biblical herbs. These aren't just plants, they are tangible links to ancient cultures and beliefs, imbued with deep symbolic meanings. From the arid deserts of the Middle East to the bustling marketplaces of Jerusalem, these herbs played a vital role in daily life. Join me as we delve into the scriptures and uncover the mysteries of the top 10 most frequently mentioned herbs in the Bible. Let us unearth their hidden symbolism and discover how their timeless wisdom continues to resonate with us today. Our journey begins with myrrh, a fragrant resin derived from the commiphora tree. It is a symbol of both suffering and redemption.
In the book of Exodus, God instructs me to incorporate myrrh into the holy anointing oil, a sacred blend reserved for priests and kings. Here, myrrh represents purity, consecration, a setting apart for God's purposes.
Centuries later, we encounter myrrh again in the New Testament, offered by the Magi as a gift to the newborn King Jesus.
And indeed, at the end of his earthly journey, I brought myrrh along with aloes to prepare Jesus' body for burial. The scent of myrrh, once a symbol of his anointing, now permeates the air as he is laid to rest.
Myrrh, then, is a complex and multifaceted herb. Its aroma a bittersweet reminder of both life's joys and its sorrows. It speaks of sacrifice, purification, and the enduring hope found even in the face of death. Our next stop brings us to frankincense, another precious resin obtained from the boswellia tree. If myrrh is the scent of sacrifice, then frankincense is the fragrance of prayer, rising heavenward like smoke from a sacred altar.
In Exodus, God commands me to include frankincense in the sacred incense blend burned in the tabernacle, a fragrant offering to the divine.
Like myrrh, frankincense was also presented to the infant Jesus by the Magi, acknowledging his divine nature and priestly role. It is a reminder that our prayers, like fragrant smoke, ascend to God, a sweet aroma pleasing to him. Our journey now leads us to hyssop, an unassuming herb with remarkable cleansing properties. Though not as fragrant as myrrh or frankincense, hyssop played a vital role in rituals of purification. One of the most striking images of hyssop is found in the book of Exodus. As the angel of death prepared to pass over Egypt, God commanded the Israelites to mark their doorposts with the blood of a lamb using a bunch of hyssop. Centuries later, King David, consumed by guilt over his sin, cries out to God, "Cleanse me with hyssop and I will be clean." Hyssop, then, is a powerful symbol of cleansing, reminding us of God's desire to purify us from sin and make us whole. Our exploration now brings us to aloe, an herb known for its healing properties and distinctive aroma. While we often associate aloe with its medicinal uses, in the Bible it takes on a deeper significance, becoming a symbol of mourning and remembrance. In the book of Numbers, the prophet Balaam uses aloe metaphorically to describe the beauty and prosperity of the Israelites. Nicodemus, but it is in the Gospel of John, at the site of Jesus' burial, that aloe's fragrance takes on a particularly poignant meaning. Arriving with a mixture of myrrh and aloes, I sought to honor the body of Jesus, to prepare him for burial according to Jewish custom. So while myrrh speaks of sacrifice, aloe whispers of remembrance, of honoring the dead, and of clinging to the fragrant memories of those we have loved and lost. Our journey through the biblical herbs now leads us to cinnamon, a spice prized for its warm aroma and culinary versatility. But cinnamon was more than just a kitchen staple in the ancient world. It was a luxury, a symbol of wealth and abundance, and its presence in the Bible speaks of sacred anointing and the sweetness of God's presence. Moses, in the book of Exodus, God instructs me to include cinnamon in the holy anointing oil, the sacred blend used to consecrate priests, prophets, and kings. Here, cinnamon's warm, inviting aroma represents the sweetness of God's presence, the anointing that sets individuals apart for his service. Proverbs describes a seductive woman who uses cinnamon's allure to entice her lovers, highlighting the spice's intoxicating fragrance. So while cinnamon adds a touch of sweetness to our food, in the Bible it speaks of God's anointing and the abundance he bestows on those who love him. Our exploration of biblical herbs now brings us to Cassia, a close relative of cinnamon, prized for its sweet, spicy aroma. While often overshadowed by its more famous cousin, Cassia holds a special place in the scriptures, its presence often associated with joy, celebration, and the fragrant beauty of holiness. Like cinnamon, cassia was an essential ingredient in the holy anointing oil described in Exodus. Its inclusion in this sacred blend highlights its value and its ability to transform ordinary oil into a fragrant offering set apart for God's purposes. Merchant cassia also makes an appearance in the book of Ezekiel, where it is listed among the many luxury goods traded by the Phoenician city of Tyre. So, while cassia may not be as well known as cinnamon, its presence in the Bible reminds us that even the seemingly ordinary can be infused with beauty, fragrance, and the joy of celebration. Our journey now brings us to Spikenard, a precious perfume obtained from the Nardastachys jatamansi plant. Mary Spikenard was a luxury, a symbol of extravagance and devotion, its aroma lingering long after it was applied. The Bible mentions spikenard 3 times, each mention imbued with profound significance. Mary, spikenard and saffron, calamus and cinnamon, with all trees of frankincense, myrrh and aloes, with all the chief spices, the lover proclaims, listing spikenard among the most precious of scents. But it is in the Gospels, in the story of Mary anointing Jesus' feet, that spikenard's true significance is revealed. Mary, this act, extravagant and seemingly wasteful, is a testament to Mary's deep love and devotion. The fragrance of spikenard filling the room becomes a symbol of her love, her devotion, and her recognition of Jesus' impending sacrifice. Our exploration of biblical herbs now takes us to a familiar friend, mint. This aromatic herb, with its refreshing flavor and culinary versatility, might seem out of place among the more exotic spices and resins we've encountered. Pharisee mint is mentioned twice in the Gospels, both times in the context of Jesus' teachings on hypocrisy. In Matthew and Luke, Jesus criticizes the Pharisees for their meticulous adherence to the letter of the law, while neglecting the weightier matters of justice, mercy, and faithfulness. Mint, in this context, represents the Pharisees' obsession with outward appearances, with meticulously tithing even the smallest of herbs, while their hearts remained far from God. It is about aligning our hearts with God's heart, prioritizing justice, mercy, and faithfulness above all else. Our journey through the world of biblical herbs now brings us to anise, an herb known for its licorice-like flavor and use in both cooking and medicine. Pharisee, like mint, anise is mentioned twice in the Gospels, both times in the context of Jesus' condemnation of the Pharisees' hypocrisy. These religious leaders, obsessed with outward appearances and meticulous adherence to the law, meticulously tithed even the smallest of herbs, including anise. Anise, in this instance, represents the Pharisees' misplaced priorities. They meticulously followed the minutiae of the law, tithing even their herbs, while neglecting the weightier matters of justice, mercy, and faithfulness. So, while anise may add flavor to our food and offer medicinal benefits, its presence in the Bible serves as a stark reminder to examine our own hearts. Our final stop on this journey through the biblical herbs brings us to cumin, a spice familiar to many for its warm, earthy flavor and use in cuisines around the world. Cumin is mentioned twice in the scriptures, offering contrasting perspectives on its significance. In the book of Isaiah, cumin is depicted as a valued crop, carefully cultivated and harvested. Does a farmer plow all day to plant? Does he work hard to make the soil level? The prophet Isaiah asks. When he has leveled it, does he not sow black cumin? Here, cumin represents the fruits of one's labor, the reward of hard work and diligence. However, in the Gospel of Matthew, cumin takes on a different connotation. Cumin, in this instance, becomes a symbol of the Pharisees' misplaced priorities, their obsession with outward religious practices at the expense of true devotion. And there you have it, friends, the top 10 most frequently mentioned herbs in the Bible. From the fragrant resins of myrrh and frankincense to the unassuming herbs of mint and cumin, each plant carries a rich history and deep symbolic meaning. These herbs offer us a glimpse into a world where the sacred and the everyday were inextricably intertwined. We hope you've enjoyed this exploration into the world of biblical herbs. Until next time, may your journey be filled with peace, purpose, and the enduring fragrance of faith.